U.S. troops to the Middle East, including ground forces. And tonight we have exclusive new details that the Pentagon has laid out options for President Trump for boots on the ground inside of Iran. The president has repeatedly said he will not send in ground troops, while also saying he wouldn't reveal that even if he was. And in Jerusalem today, take a look at this. Iranian missile fragments hitting the Old City, landing just mere yards from some of the holiest sites in the world. And as the U.S. hits Iran with a new wave of strikes, this chilling warning from Tehran that tourist centers around the world will not be safe. We've got it all covered from the White House to the Middle East. And we begin tonight with our Pentagon correspondent, Courtney Kube.
Tonight, the potential boots on the ground. For 21 days, the U.S. has been hitting the Iranian regime with airstrikes.
We can have dialogue, but I don't want to do a ceasefire. You know, you don't do a ceasefire when you're literally obliterating the other side.
Now, in an effort to quickly end the war, NBC News learning President Trump is weighing whether to send hundreds or even thousands of ground troops into Iran, according to 5 people familiar with the discussions. Several options are under consideration, those sources tell us. One, aimed at opening the Strait of Hormuz, includes deploying troops to several small islands in the Persian Gulf to stop Iranian attack boats from targeting oil tankers. Another option, take the oil facilities on Karg Island, depriving the Iranian regime of revenue. And potentially the most dangerous option, sending troops to secure and retrieve Iran's highly enriched uranium. President Trump overnight saying he would not send ground troops.
No, I'm not putting troops anywhere.
Tonight, he was pressed again.
That if I told you the answer to that question, my military people would be very happy. But we have a lot of troops. We have unlimited ammunition. We have the greatest equipment in the world. And we are decimating Iran. It's about time. And frankly, it should have been done long before me.
And just moments ago, the president posting, "We are getting very close to meeting our objectives as we consider winding down our great military efforts in the Middle East."
And Courtney joins us now live. Courtney, how many troops could be involved here?
Potentially hundreds or even thousands, depending on the option selected, though no decisions have been made. Now, none of the options involve large-scale deployments like Iraq or Afghanistan. The White House telling us tonight President Trump has no plans to send troops anywhere. Tom?
Courtney Kube with that new reporting tonight. And the war today took a dangerous turn with a strike hitting Jerusalem's Old City near some of the holiest religious sites in the world. Chief Foreign Correspondent Richard Engel is there for us tonight.
This was the moment when this war with Iran was just meters away from escalating perhaps to a point of no return. Around 4:10 p.m., an Iranian missile launched at Israel broke apart in midair, apparently hit by an Israeli interceptor. The warhead, according to Israeli police, dropped on the Old City in Jerusalem, blasting a hole. Israeli police recovered pieces of the warhead, saying it was filled with dozens of kilograms of explosives.
This is exactly where the explosion took place, and if ever there was a symbol of how difficult wars are to control and predict once they begin, this is it. This is only a few hundred yards from the holiest sites in the world. Luckily, none of them were damaged, but had they been destroyed, this would be a totally different conflict.
The crater is 300 yards from the Wailing Wall, the most sacred place for Jews, and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which sits on top of the Wailing Wall. And tonight is Eid, a Muslim holiday, and it was very close to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, where Christians believe Jesus was crucified and rose from the dead. A single broken missile could have escalated this war into a religious one of global proportions. And as oil fields continue to burn, a spokesman for the Iranian armed forces directly threatened new targets, saying to American and Israeli military personnel that recreational areas, resorts, and tourist centers around the world will not be safe for you.
A chilling threat there, and Richard joins us now live overlooking Jerusalem's Old City. And Richard, explain to our viewers, if one of those holy sites had been hit, it would have really changed things in this war.
This was a very close call. No one was even injured, but it shows how uncontrollable these wars are and how little it takes for there to be an emotional event that takes the war in a whole new direction.
All right. right, Richard, we thank you for that. Back at home, the stock market today took another big hit with Wall Street fearing this war could drag on. Christine Romans covers business for us. And Christine, anyone who looked at their 401k today is likely seeing some real damage.
Tom, it's been a 4-week losing streak for markets, the worst since last spring when tariffs dominated. Lower here today and all down nearly 10% from their recent highs. That would be called a correction. It was just last month that the Dow topped 50,000. It's down 5,000 points since then. The shock to the world's oil supply driving prices up for both oil and gas. Gas prices now up 93 cents a gallon since the war began. And Tom, it's also mortgage rates now affected by all of this. Now above 6.5% for a 30-year mortgage. It was less than a month ago that they were below 6% for the first time in years, Tom.
Yeah, we reported that when it happened that night. All right, Christine, we thank you for that. We're tracking a potential catastrophe unfolding right now in Hawaii. Thousands forced to evacuate. Their homes are flooded and waters are sweeping.